So, some great progress was made today. As you can see, transmission's off. We got the engine on the stand. We got the whole intake throttle body off. We actually got the valve cover off. So we made some real good progress. You know, looking at the overall condition, everything, it looks like everything's in pretty good shape. We've got a small little nick here, but nothing overwhelming. We'll check the rockers once we get that off. One of our cylinders was a little bit gunked up, but you know, we knew that with the helix. So we'll kind of see what that will entail once we get this apart a little bit more. Gaskets are a little jacked up, as you can see. You know, some of our lines have seen better days. So we'll kind of clean up what we can while we have it in pieces, and then you know, we'll get this thing put back together, and it should hopefully fire up just fine. It's exciting though. You know, we're actually making a little bit more progress. I know it took us like 2 weeks to get something welded. Felt like everything was a standstill. So now that we actually got this in pieces, we can start really cranking. So today's kind of a colder day for us. It is 34 degrees according to my truck outside. So that means it's going to be a bit Arctic in the actual garage, just because we don't have electricity hooked up. Really, we're running everything off extension cords. So I'm going to go buy a propane style heater to use in there for the time being, just to get a little comfort in there. Definitely want to rip apart the head today, get all that in pieces. I got the notification that the last part that we were waiting on for the engine did come in today, so we have everything we need to move forward, but just got to supply a little comfort because it's going to be a little rough in there. But yeah, we'll get the full head ripped apart, hopefully be able to get the new head right back on right afterwards, clean up anything we may need to clean up in the process, and then, you know, hopefully we can get it all back together today. Obviously time considering, but we'll do what we can. Okay, we're ready at that fun point to actually start ripping apart the head. As you can see, we've got a heater going, keep us a little bit of warmth in here. Got all of our parts in, so I got a new catch can, I got a new coil pack cover, got gaskets, so we've got a new braided line to run through the turbo from the back. So we're in good shape where we want to be. Now we're ready to rip apart a block. Right now, following a designated pattern to ensure that you relieve pressure amongst the bolts evenly. So the sequence kind of start here in the middle on the outside. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And by doing it that way, you even pressure being let off, so you don't have to worry about bending the cam. So, as you can see, we already got the first one out. Okay, there. So, they're already broken off enough where it doesn't hurt anything. There's no pressure on it. So, completely pull them out. And as we do that, come off for me? Nope, I'll get that later. Not big deal. But we have it broken down over here in a box with everything marked out. Not there.
They're just like a good circle up on here.
Just want to break this. Got it?
Yep. These pistons are black.
Got the head off. A little more painful than I initially thought. Had to go to the store, obviously buy some tools, all kinds of stuff. Looking at the condition of everything, you know, it's in really good condition. Cylinder heads are fairly smooth. Obviously some oil here and there, but we'll clean all this up. You can see that's what we pulled off, cylinder head. So we'll have to take, for instance, like some of the studs off, the rockers, all that needs to come out. We'll need to put that in the new head. But definitely some good progress. Took a little longer than I wanted it to, but hey, we're getting somewhere. So hopefully, you know, if I got time today, I have to see what time it is. You know, maybe we can flip one to another and we can start assembling this. If not, we'll hopefully be able to get it done tomorrow. Alright, so we got our coil pack cover here. We've got a valve cover over there to get to. I'm going to go over it with some high heat black. Hopefully it'll look a nice toning, and then we're going to go over the lettering on the valve cover. Sorry, a couple drinks yet. We're covering that in black, and then the rest is going to be white, so hopefully it'll pop really well. But we're going to start out with this, and then we're going to do that, let that dry, and then we'll come back with the white once it dries. Let that sit. We'll see how that turns out. I need to do a second coat on it just because it's high heat. You're tossing my glove. Real quick. So I can slightly move this over so I get some paint on it. Okay. Good?
Yeah.
Will those guys find themselves in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2018? We'll find out soon if it's right against the machines here.
Right, put that in a couple coats. So we're at a point now with the heads where we got to kind of make a decision on what we're going to do. We found a couple things with the newer head that we bought off somebody. We have some bolts that have been pretty much grinded off that pretty much don't want to come out. They're gnawed up. Definitely a lot of cleaning. We found sawdust caked in some of the actual like stud holes. There's sawdust all over the place, so it seems like this might have been stud in somebody's wood workshop. So a lot more cleaning involved. We either, you know, find a way to take that out, clean this up, you know, could take a lot longer than we initially thought. Or we can go back and use the head which we originally took off. Originally we were going to use this head because of the helix. The helix actually looks like it's held up fairly well. Spark plug came right out. It was still snug. We examined it. It still screws in. There wasn't any shavings in the cylinder. So we potentially could just go with this, considering that the only thing that was wrong with the engine itself was a blown head gasket, and it wasn't due to that. It was just us revving it when it was cold. But we could potentially use this, which would be a lot quicker turnaround for us, which would allow us to clean this up over a long period of time and then save it if ever needed, get everything good, really give it a nice cleaning. So we're kind of on the fence about this. So we're going to kind of evaluate our options, and we'll pretty much, when we figure out what we're going to do, we'll pick that up on the next video on, what direction we're going with what. Obviously, if we go with this, it'll be the cleaning, it'll be ripping out the screws, all that. If we go with this one, it's taking off all the old gaskets and seals, and then prepping it, getting it back on the block to get it put right back in the actual car. So quicker turnaround, a little longer, kind of weighed out the options. So like I said, that'll be on the next video, so be on the lookout for that. Like, subscribe, comment. If you see anything you like, you want to hear, anything like that, let us know, and we'll kind of go on that. So be on the lookout for more videos in the future.